Throughout the 20th century, the topic of unidentified flying objects, UFOs, has remained an endless source of fascination for scientists, the media, and enthusiasts of the unexplained. From strange encounters to declassified government documents, modern history seems cloaked in mystery about phenomena that may lie beyond our understanding. Among the most controversial events, the alleged UFO crash in Louisiana in 1942 stands out as a lesser-known but intriguing case. While no definitive evidence or official report exists, a variety of scattered, seemingly unrelated sources, ranging from old records and folklore to isolated military reports, appear to unintentionally support the possibility that something extraordinary occurred. So, what really happened in Louisiana in 1942? Multiple unrelated sources seem to support an overlooked UFO crash in Louisiana in 1942. Timothy Cooper is an independent investigator, document researcher, and writer. As part of his efforts to acquire documentation on secret military and government UFO data, he has acquired the largest collection of MJ-12 documents and privately owned original Project Blue Book files in the United States. Starting in the fall of 1992, Cooper began receiving apparently classified documents in his post office box from an unknown person who identified himself as Cantwheel. Cantwheel claimed to be part of the Counterintelligence Corps, CIC, Scientific and Technical Branch, Interplanetary Phenomenon Unit, IPU, from 1942 to 1958. According to Cantwheel, he served in the CIC until 1980 and worked for CIA covert operations in the 60s, and had contacts with the FBI, KGB, and GRU. He claims to have retired as a lieutenant colonel and been involved with the Majestic Community, MAGCOM, and the 5412th Group. On January 30, 1996, Thomas Cantwheel wrote a two-page memo. In it, he writes about an aerodyne recovered in 1941 that crashed in southwestern Missouri and one captured in 1942 in Louisiana. The mention of an aerodyne recovered in 1941 that crashed in southwestern Missouri likely refers to the 1941 Cape Girardeau UFO crash. However, southwestern is likely a misremembering, as Cape Girardeau is located in southeastern Missouri. Cantwheel also mentions an aerodyne captured in 1942 in Louisiana. The mention of an aerodyne captured in 1942 in Louisiana may be supported by Edgar Hoover's possible reference to a recovered disc. In a handwritten note written on July 15, 1947, on a declassified FBI memo requesting involvement with the Air Force's UFO cases from July 10, 1947, FBI Director Edgar Hoover writes, "I would do it, but before agreeing to it, we must insist on full access to discs recovered. For instance, in the Lane case the Army grabbed it and would not let us have it for cursory examination." Lane was the postal code for the state of Louisiana before the change to LA in 1963. It is also possible that Hoover is referencing the mystery airplanes allegedly recovered after the Los Angeles air raid. Some people believe he was referring to a 16-inch aluminum disc recovered in Shreveport, Louisiana, on July 7, 1947. However, the FBI stated this was a hoax on July 10, nearly a week before the handwritten note. This UFO crash could also be linked to a controversial series of allegedly leaked videos posted to YouTube in 2011 by a YouTube channel called Ivan0135. According to the information provided by the uploader, the uploaded clips are small samples, selectively taken from a larger collection of video material. The videos depict alien beings in human custody after a UFO crash. The specific date and location of this UFO crash are not mentioned, although it can be inferred from the text included in the fourth video that this event happened in 1942. The first video depicts a classic saucer-shaped UFO hovering statically in the sky, and later, crashed UFO is seen on the ground. Based on the similarities between these two objects, it can be inferred that both UFOs are the same object. In the hovering saucer clip, a house is seen in the foreground. The architectural style of the house resembles that of the Acadian or Cajun style, which is popular in the southern United States. The videos, while controversial, have not yet been definitively debunked. In my opinion, the videos are likely a hoax, but this still seems like something that should be mentioned. This post is based on a post made 3 years ago by It's the BS. Below are the sources I used, and where you can find the memorandums I mentioned. Conclusion. So, what really happened in Louisiana in 1942? The answer remains frustratingly elusive, but not for lack of evidence. Instead, the truth is buried beneath layers of secrecy, fragmented testimonies, vague government memos, and possibly fabricated media. While no single piece of information confirms that a UFO crash occurred in Louisiana in 1942, the convergence of multiple, seemingly unrelated sources begins to form a pattern that's difficult to dismiss entirely. The memo from Thomas Cantwheel referencing a 1942 Aerodyne capture, Edgar Hoover's handwritten note expressing frustration over the Army withholding access to a recovered disc in the Lane case, and the visual cues from the controversial Ivan 0135 videos all suggest that something unusual might have happened, something extraordinary enough for the military to classify, conceal, and quietly forget. Still, the most critical question isn't whether a UFO crashed in Louisiana, but why there is such a consistent effort to suppress, redirect, or obscure these types of incidents from public record. When we look at Cantwheel's alleged ties to MJ-12, CIA covert ops, and the Interplanetary Phenomenon Unit, we begin to understand the scope of a possible larger network working behind the scenes. In the end, we may never know with certainty what took place in that quiet southern state over 80 years ago. But if we follow the paper trails, listen carefully to the whistleblowers, and stay open to connecting the dots between official documents and overlooked anomalies, we inch closer to uncovering a version of the truth, one that suggests humanity may have encountered something not of this world long before Roswell. The mystery of the 1942 Louisiana UFO crash may be unsolved, but it is certainly not unsupported.